Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. I want to address something. I got a few comments in my past video. The clip that I had put up had some audio issues. They were saying the audio was low, and they were talking about it being like it's even hard to watch the video, when the audio clips are like that. Just to let you know, man, like this is a one-shot thing. Sometimes the audio's bad. Sometimes, I may mess up, whatever the case. Just know that I'm just some dude on the internet that enjoys what he does, and I'm looking to spread the word, put out some content, and just kind of share my thoughts on the market. So everything ain't gonna be perfect. I'll do my best here. I just wanted to let you know that I'm addressing that, and we'll try to get some better audio clips, as in volume wise. But we're gonna start with this one here from Blockchain Daily. This says breaking: SEC says that spot Bitcoin ETF filings are inadequate. So coming over here, John Deaton's responding to this. He says, "This is a part of the plan. I wonder who's buying the dip. In the grayscale case, the appellate court judges told the SEC lawyers that there was no difference between the futures ETF and a spot ETF." And the crazy thing is, I literally Googled this to try to figure out how it sounded. I completely forgot. It says, imagine what they would say knowing the SEC has allowed a leveraged ETF but claims the spot ETF filings are inadequate. And that's after granting a short ETF. The plan: drive price down as much as possible for legacy Wall Street. If you disagree, offer me a different reason. So literally this goes into what we talk about on this channel, it being like, they're trying to do everything in their power, like he said, to bring the price down, to suppress the price, right? So the incumbents can scoop up as much as possible and get a bigger piece of the pie, right? Controlling the narrative and restarting that cycle of control and dominance when it comes to the financial system. I mean, it's evident, right? Will Clementa hit something on the head too here. He says, even if BlackRock, Fidelity, Refile, and ETFs still get rejected by Gary, the cat is out of the bag. Institutions want your Bitcoin and are looking to get a piece of this market. They're not looking to get a piece. They're looking to get to the biggest piece. And that's kind of what we've been saying on this channel and in the community. John Reed Stark says, per the Wall Street Journal, the SEC is not, from the time being, going to approve a Bitcoin spot RTF. Not surprising at all. The SEC's rationale is spot on, and the SEC's argument keeps getting stronger and more compelling, especially since the SEC alleges, one, the largest unregulated crypto trading platform on the planet, Binance, is rife with manipulation and fraud. And two, the Coinbase is operating unlawfully and engaging in multiple registration failures. Okay, so the thing that's interesting about this, we're going to address two. So isn't the SEC the one that approved Coinbase to proceed forward with the IPO? And if this was truly something happening, unlawfully engaging in multiple registration failures, I mean, wouldn't they have caught that, right? So clearly we know that there's a lot of discrepancies and contradictions when it comes to the SEC's stance against Coinbase. And you have Binance. I mean, from litigation, isn't it all just speculation, if you will? Chairman Gensler talks about, you don't want me to prejudge, right? But he does a lot of prejudging, throwing out accusations and these bold claims saying, this is security and this is security and they're doing this and that. Well, until there's true hard evidence that's presented, it's all just speculation, right? That he says, she says stuff. Like, is that really going to hold up in court? It's just a waiting game. But this is interesting that John Reed Stark said this. John Deaton's responding. He says, don't hold it against anyone for believing crypto needs to be regulated, because it does. Or pointing out bad actors in crypto. They should be pointed out, or even supporting the SEC's enforcement actions or its approach to crypto. Although I vehemently disagree, but calling Gary Gensler a bad faith regulator is not an opinion, it's a fact. Claiming Gensler is acting in good faith, guided by an intent to protect everyday investors, is the equivalent of saying Clinton was squeaky clean, or that Trump always told the truth, or that Biden has never been more mentally sharp than he is today. It's simply not true. So JD obviously hitting it on the head, and then he goes in responding to a couple of the people in the thread there. But it's kind of just pushing that same narrative as like, these aren't just speculations when people are accusing Chairman Gensler for his wrongdoing and his conflicts of interest and him truly being a bad faith regulator. Like, there's hard facts that prove it. Video footage, contradiction, right? We're going to show a little bit of it with the Winklevoss, Tyler Winklevoss's video that I'm going to show you. He's going to show you exactly, I guess you could say, some of the factors that go into that fact of him being a bad faith regulator. Patrick McHenry says, If these reports are accurate, Gary Gensler has a lot of explaining to do. An ETF would provide everyday investors with an SEC-regulated product. The only reason for Chair Gensler to oppose is if he wants to kill crypto in the U.S. altogether. And it ain't about killing it. I mean, quite honestly, I do believe they see, the writing on the wall. It's just he wants him and his buddy and his powers and, I guess you could say his masters. They want them to have majority of it. They don't want us everyday investors to be involved in it, man. But this video is awesome right here. This is from Tyler Wiegelvoss. It says the SEC and Gary Gensler have a serious credibility problem. Listening to this.
Over 70% of the crypto market is Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. Why did I name those four? They're not securities.
How would you categorize Ether then?
Look, I think that the general sweep of what Congress did, not just in the 30s, but as amended.
I'm asking you, sitting in your chair now, to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
So we already know in the U.S. and in many other jurisdictions that 3/4 of the market are not ICOs or not what would be called securities.
Without speaking to anyone.
Is Ether a commodity or a security?
In 2018, the Securities and Exchange Commission has said, regardless of what it might have been in 2014, it's now sufficiently decentralized that we'll consider it not a security.
It depends on the facts and the law, and if there's a group of individuals.
I'm asking you about the facts and the law, sitting in your seat, and the judgment you are making.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge. And again, it depends on the facts and the law.
There goes that prejudge statement that I was just talking to you about. You don't want me to prejudge, but you're doing a lot of prejudging.
And Congress has said that there's one agency.
And you're not a judge.
The Securities and Exchange Commission under this committee.
And you won't answer my question, and you're the head of that agency. So give me a break. Come on.
What a great video. Let me put my glasses back on here. DAI says, boy, we could have really used the twins' help uncovering hashtag ETHgate and fighting for Ripple and XRP. That's a whole another conversation we can have. Obviously, if you've been following this channel and been in the community, you know how we feel about, everyone else kind of, in a sense, jumping on the bandwagon finally and kind of pulling their heads out of their butts, right? This is Hester Pierce right here. It says, protecting investors is important, but the government needs to have a good reason to prevent people from investing their own money as they choose, right? Let me make sure I didn't move on to this. Okay. I just deleted that. So I wanted to touch on that. Obviously, Hester Pierce got the name Crypto Mom. I doubt many people are calling her Crypto Mom as of late because obviously we've been kind of sick and tired of the words, right? She has great statements, great words, and obviously she has a certain belief. It's hard to tell, what's if any of it's fabricated or if it's just a charade or if she plays the role of diminishing the damages in regards of the PR stance of it. Who knows? I'm not speculating as her being some sort of bad actor or some sort of trying to play the community or whatever. But she has some solid points there. It's who is Chairman Gensler from the SEC to say that the hard money that we earned, we already pay our taxes on it, we already pay our monthly expenses and provide for our families and ourselves, right? Why can't we take whatever we have left over, if we have money left over, why can't we invest it into what we want to invest into? Why we have to be some sort of accredited investor to try to make a financial difference in our lives? Let us take on the risk. We can go to the casino right now, right, and just put it all on black, no problem. But we can't take the risk in other markets, especially in the crypto digital asset space. It makes no sense to me. And quite honestly, in our video yesterday, I was hinting at that, but I didn't want to go too far into it. And I don't want to do it in this video as well, but it's that's the truth. I know for me, I want to have every opportunity that the next person has to make a difference, a financial difference in my family's life. So if someone else can do it, I don't care if they make, $2 million a year, $5 million a year, $10 million a year. I don't care. I want to have the same chance. I don't care if I'm only putting pennies. I'm putting $100 a year in the market. I want to be able to do that. And that's just the fair and just thing. It's crazy, man. It should be the American way, the American thing. But Chairman Gensler and SEC are really dropping the ball, and they're not there to protect us everyday investors. They're there to hinder us from achieving financial freedom and change the financial course of our life. Truly, Warren Davidson says it's time to hashtag fire Gary Gensler and restructure the government. So here's another gentleman where, saying great things, right? They're doing great things. Obviously, if he feels that their bill's not going to pass, like what is his alternative? Like what's their alternative approach? Are they going to continue to be on the offensive? What are they going to do? Are they going to defund the SEC? Do they have some sort of other approach that they're going to do to mitigate Chairman Gensler's reign and terror on the crypto space? That's the big question. Cowboy Crypto had put this up. I was going to play it 24 seconds, but I thought it was interesting. He was saying, quote, to really boil it down, Ripple is competing with the liquidity of Citi and the messaging of Swift in one, because we are both messaging in liquidity. So obviously, Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple, they're trying to do big things. They're trying to really make an impact, or they say make a dent in the universe, and it's evident based on everything that we see out there in regards of available documents and stuff. 1 second, let me check this real quick. Okay, look, I'll be right there. It's my little guy. All right, so Meta Lawman, these are our last two things I want to cover here. So Meta Lawman had put up this SEC versus Coinbase update. It says the lawyers for Coinbase have come out with an interesting opening move in the case. Warning, this is going to get complicated. Instead of filing a typical motion to dismiss under Rule 12b, Coinbase has informed Judge Felia that it intends to file a, quote, motion for judgment on the pleadings under Rule 12c. What's the difference? On a motion to dismiss, a judge may only consider the factual allegations in a complaint and any documents attached or referenced in the complaint, nothing else. On a motion for judgment on the pleadings, by contrast, a judge may consider other pleadings filed in the case, which would include the defendant's answer to the complaint. So back to Coinbase. Coinbase had a deadline of August 7, 2023 to file its response to the SEC's complaint. Instead of waiting until August, Coinbase filed a 177-page answer to the complaint last night, 40 days before the deadline. Coinbase included in its answer a lengthy, quote, preliminary statement spelling out its legal arguments for dismissal of the case. The answer is also loaded with links to a host of documents and transcripts to support Coinbase's argument, including, for example, the Bitcoin white paper, Coinbase's S1 registration statement, transcripts of Chairman Gensler's May 6, 2021 congressional testimony, remarks from Hester Pierce, transcripts of Binance's troll hearing, and even the famous him and email. So a lot of power here, a lot of power to strengthen their corner, right? It says it is somewhat unusual to find all of this material included in an answer. Typically, an answer just goes through each paragraph of a complaint and admits or denies them and then lists affirmative defenses. Coinbase appears to be using the creative strategy to get documents helpful to its case in front of the judge through the answer. A conference with the judge is set for July 13 to determine whether Coinbase will be permitted to proceed with its motion for judgment on the pleadings at this time. This is typically a formality, and permission is granted unless there is some very good reason offered by the other side. And then he says, here's Coinbase's letter. So just a quick update, man. Obviously, Coinbase is, man, they're going after it, man. They're coming in strong, right in. What do they say? They're starting fast, trying to finish strong. I mean, that's huge, man. Go on the offensive against the SEC, especially, if you're on the right side of the law, man. You have the truth on your side, right? Go hit them. And they're very fortunate to have a lot of this stuff that they are utilizing within their to strengthen their defense and strengthen their position in litigation. That's huge. John Dean, I'm going to end on this one, says, the other day I said I've met great lawyers on Twitter and in crypto. Stuart Alderati and the Ripple defense team have been outstanding. Paul Graywall and his Coinbase legal squad are also incredible. The Coinbase filings are a legal work of art. Crypto will win in the long game. And that's huge, man. That's what it's about in the long game, man. Let's do this the right way, right? We're currently sitting at a 1.23 trillion market cap. Bitcoin currently sitting at 30,409. Ethereum sitting at 1925, and XRP sitting just at 47.5 cents. And then the Bitcoin Fear Greed Index sitting at 56. But that's what I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Crypto's Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.